Hey guys, what it do? It's your boy Supreme Uchiha the God, and today we are talking about Usopp, baby. But first of all, subscribe to the channel, cause we're trying to hit 2K, and we're trying to get monetized. We're trying to get monetized, so like the video, share the video, don't be a douchebag. Anyways, yeah, I wanted to talk about Usopp, and I had a video before talking about his like wasted potential in a way, but I kind of want to go through his timeline and why I think he's the worst developed Straw Hat in the story. Does that seem fair to say? I feel like you know everybody seems more useful than Usopp currently in the story, right? What did Usopp really do in Wano, right? He didn't really do much, right? Um, what has he been doing in Egghead Island so far? I know he's hit a few slingshots, like, but he just doesn't feel relevant, right? Brooke has been more useful. Frankie has been more useful. Nami has been more useful. Nico Robin has been more useful, and obviously we know the importance of Tony Chopper. We know the importance of that dude. So he's obviously done stuff. We know Sanji does stuff. He's one of the wings of the pirate. We obviously know Zoro is the strong arm of the pirate, and the right hand of the pirate, and we know Luffy is the captain. So everybody seems useful to a much higher degree than Usopp so far in the story. And Elbaf is his dream. Elbaf is his goal because he met brave warriors, giants, and those giants are here, and he hasn't even interacted with those giants. And he wants to be a brave warrior of the sea. He wants to be the bravest warrior of the sea. And he is already super brave because he's constantly in the dangerous situation that he's terrified of, but he's always there trying to do the right thing. But the problem is, he has to be less scared. He has to not be running away. He has to be somewhat comfortable, somewhat stronger, right? It just feels like he's plateaued, right? I loved him in Dressrosa, right? Him being God Usopp and stuff like that. I thought that was sensational. We obviously loved the Masked King as well. That was sensational. We loved that, right? When he goes into those phases where he becomes like a new person, those are his best moments, right? And the thing is, he seems to only have moments, right? I think since Water 7, I don't really think he's had a full arc where it's like, wow, this guy's cooking. Like, Dressrosa was funny, but he didn't do anything out of his own free will, right? Things just happened, and it ended up painting him as a hero and being the god Usopp, right? And then if we look at with Water 7, he intentionally left the crew. He wanted to fight for the Sunny. The Sunny got discarded. Then he realized that he can't just leave his crew, especially when there's danger. So he put on a mask and did everything to try to save Nico Robin, because despite leaving the crew, he still knew that he cares about his friends and he went after them. That was bravery. That was pure bravery. He went out there solo dolo. He didn't even think anybody would be helping him, really. He just went out there to assist everybody, but he was just trying to do his own thing. In fact, he was on a mission by himself to save Nico Robin. He was willing to risk his life and go out there and do what he can for his friend, right? Because remember, he was also the one that shot down the government flag and started the Straw Hats fight against the government, and them basically spitting on the government, saying, F you. If you guys want to kill our friend or get rid of a friend or capture a friend, then we will fight you no matter what it takes. Usopp does that in Water 7, right? He's a fantastic arc in Water 7. I would say he has a complete arc in Water 7. He eventually joins back to the crew, and Zoro does what Zoro does, and he says, I will not accept this if he doesn't properly apologize. I'm not having it. We're not just gonna kumbaya and let him back into the crew. Sensational moment for both characters. Great moment. That's a great moment for Zoro. It's not a character arc. Great moment, right? Dressrosa, great moments with Usopp. Not a full character arc. Nothing changes. Things just happen to him. He tells his lies and things just fall into place, right? He tries to run away and ends up defeating the lollipop lady, right? That's all it is. Or the little kid that's not a kid that can turn people into puppets, right? Things happen to him, but he didn't do anything, right? Wano so far, he's just like a background character. To be fair, a lot of the main Straw Hats are background characters in this arc, because a lot of it is being focused on Luffy and somewhat Zoro and Sanji, right? Those are the main the main trio. It's the main trio story right now, right? That's fine. Now the next arc is Usopp's goal. It's Usopp's dream. It's Usopp's destination. He'd be the first person out of everybody to reach his destination, right? His goal was to reach the giants, right? The land of the giants, Elbaf. That was his goal, and he was hoping to become and finish his arc and become a brave warrior there, right? Um, a fearless warrior, whatever you want to say. That's where he's supposed to really reach his end of serious mentality. It's not about his strength, mentality, right? He's a massive pessimist, like myself, and that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to get there, and he's supposed to learn from them, and he's supposed to be the focal point. Now we already know that it's, a lot of people complain that it's Luffy piece, blah 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 blah. Listen, Luffy's gonna be the main thing in Elbaf regardless, because he is Sun God Nika, and we know that the giants know about that, right? So that's a given, right? He's always gonna be the main centerpiece of every act. We already know that. That's okay. We have no problem with that. Secondary, we need Usopp to run that secondary. To be honest, if whole cake, I would say, Sanji was the main thing in that, right? So you can actually have bits where Luffy's not the main thing or the main person for that arc, right? So I think I have to say I think Usopp deserves that. I think his character has, after Dressrosa, really, and to be honest, I'm really being critical, even in Dressrosa, hasn't had any steps forward. He hasn't improved mentally, and his whole goal is mental, right? And he has to be the best shooter, sniper. He doesn't miss, fair juice, but his weapons just aren't that strong, right? He has these cool contraptions that help the crew occasionally, but overall, like, anybody else could do something else to do the same thing that he just did. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. I'm not saying he's useless. He's not. Usopp he's useful, but he's just not as useful as anybody else. And that's kind of an issue. I think he needs to be more useful, right? Nami doesn't have to be strong, but she's the navigator. She's needed. Robin doesn't have to be strong, but she can read the poneglyphs. She's needed. Frankie doesn't have to be strong, but he's needed to make sure that the ship is running correctly. He's needed, right? Sanji and Zoro are the only ones that can fight the strongest of the strongest if Luffy is occupied. They are both needed, right? Luffy's the captain. He's needed. And Chopper, obviously, he's the doctor. People get injured, yada yada yada. He's needed. All of these people, apart from Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy, are needed for anything outside of fighting, something else outside of fighting, right? Apart from Usopp. Usopp is basically only needed for fighting, right? Now he's good at repairing, and he was handy at that before Frankie got there, but Frankie does it and he's better at it. He does help Frankie, but Frankie can't do it himself. He does expedite it by making it slightly faster, but again, Frankie can do it. Jinbei, I'm forgetting about Jinbei. Jinbei is the goddamn ship operator, what you call it, like the person that steers the ship, bro. He does that, right? And he can control water, so he can help them do stuff, right? So he's kind of needed. He's also not as needed, but he can also fight strong people, so he's also useful in fighting, right? Usopp, on the other hand, is basically can do a bit of everything, but isn't excelling at anything, right? He's not the best at anything apart from shooting. And it hasn't really been that effective. So I think Elbaf Usopp just needs a power boost, like a massive power boost. I need him like mentally first. Like I'll be happy coming out of Elbaf if mentally Usopp thinks differently and is no longer, doesn't let fear control him at times, right? He shouldn't be doing that thing he did with Nami, where they were like saying, "Nah, we don't care about the Pirate King, or Luffy will never be the Pirate King, or whatever, or the King of the Pirates, or whatever." Like that, I feel like that mentality has to be gone. He has to just stand on business and be like, "Nah," you know what I'm saying? Like, enemy face him, instead of running first, he has to be like, "Okay, I got this. I'm going in. Or I'll come up with a strategy. Let me figure out what attacks he have. Let me do something." You know what I'm saying? Because he has great durability. He has the tools to be great. He just doesn't seem to really push himself in the same way that I think he should, or he doesn't seem to reach the heights that I think he's capable of reaching. I feel like Oda is kind of like been sleeping on him, to be honest. But and and Oda has been building up that this is his goal, is to go to Elbaf and to meet the giants and to learn how to become a brave warrior there. So we need to see that. We need to see him progress in Elbaf. We need to have a large focus of Elbaf on Usopp, because this is the final stretch of the story, right? We need to see these characters' dreams and actualities and goals be achieved, or them reach ever closer to it, right? As Zoro is getting closer and closer to be the world's strongest swordman, because he's getting stronger every arc. Luffy's getting closer to be Pirate King because they're heading towards Laugh Tale and trying to collect the pounding glyphs every arc. So this is important information. This is important, and I think that's what I feel like is just missing right here, because Nico Robin's power is blossoming, and she can read the pounding glyph, and you know what I'm saying, and she found her family. Her goal technically being achieved, right? She found a family. She found people that care about her and are willing to die for her, and that's the Straw Hat. She's the first person that we can say her goals are accomplished. Nami wants to map the whole world, so her goal doesn't even finish at them being Pirate King, because she wants to map the whole world. So her goal keeps going. Sanji is to find the All Blue. On the way to Laugh Tale is where they hope to find the All Blue. So all of these people's goals are on the way, and Usopp's stop is Elbaf. That's where his goal is at. So we need to see that. So, and the serious Usopp has to be some kind of powerful person. He has to go back to his island, right, or to his hometown, and be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody sees him getting all these bounties, but nobody knows that he's just been frauding his way through all the bounties. I want him to get the next bounty, to him reach 1 billion and really be like, damn, this guy's worth 1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Because his bounty is obviously overblown. And I love Usopp, but his bounty is completely overblown because of just accidental coincidences, right? So that's the only thing. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Usopp's arc and story and character growth has been perfectly paced, yada yada yada? Or do you guys agree that we need to see Usopp next? So remember, Wano, that was supposed to be Zoro. Zoro was supposed to have some kind of significance in Wano, and now he's getting a separate book to deal with him instead of him being included in the story. I think that's a pacing issue. There's a lot of things that could have been cut out or made shorter in order to include Zoro's story within Wano, right? I don't think it's necessary that he gets a whole. I mean, I think it's fine for him to get a whole side story, but still, we should be satisfied just reading the main book, right? If you look at like Itachi's story in the Narutoverse, now he gets a novel, but without the novel, you are satisfied after reading Naruto manga about his story. You are completely satisfied, right? Minato, even though he doesn't get that much, you are satisfied with what you get. So when he gets a novel, that's like a bonus, right? And listen, that's not even a main character. Kakashi is a main character, right? He's, let's say, he's the teacher. He gets a full arc and it's super satisfying. You know what I'm saying? Sakura gets a full arc. I don't know if it's satisfying, but she gets a full arc. Like even like those obviously wasted potential characters like Rock Lee, right? But Rock Lee isn't as important to Naruto as Usopp is to the Straw Hats and to One Piece, or he shouldn't be, right? So that's my only thing. I hope we get that for Usopp at least, because Zoro, at least he's strong. He gets cool ass moments. He's the vice captain. He has a lot of things going for him outside of his story, and any personal stuff like that. But that's what I think. Anyway, excuse me. And we know he's gonna fight Mihawk. So if he's gonna fight Mihawk, we know that's definitely gonna happen. With Usopp's goal, it's a less, I don't want to say tangible, but it's more of a mental thing than like okay, this is a clear cut goal. I beat this person, I become the world's strongest swordsman. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.